I always look for is contrast, and I have this great tool that's very simple. Of course, I'm losing everything today, so now. Okay, cool. Okay, so what it is a black chip and a white chip of color. And the first thing I do when I look at a painting is I get a sense is there contrast? Because contrast is going to create energy and depth in your painting. So are there some darks and lights? And all the paintings we're going to look at are good paintings, right? Because they made it to this book and they're published, and I'm showing them. So you can see, look at this painting. It's got some darks and it's got some lights. So it's got those different hues, which is really lovely. Okay? So that's the first kind of tester I do on a piece, if it's not working, is just get a white and a black. The next thing I think about is variation. So variation is what in your painting is interesting. Why is someone looking at it? What makes it different or special? What makes the painting yours? So let's look at this painting together and what's interesting about it.
This is all chaotic.
Yeah.
And this bit down here.
Yeah.
And the lines being so organized are in stark contrast to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. It's intense, but yet there's harmony at the same time. There's harmony. I mean, there's intensity and yet there's order. So there's both sides. There's contrast that way too.
Yeah, so good. So you guys are noticing lots of things that make this painting interesting and that make you want to look at it. And when you're looking at your work and you're in the process of stepping back and saying, how's this painting going? That's something you want to consider with your work. And you can see there's a lot of layers and thought that went into this painting, and a lot of things we've done in this class, this artist may have used. But you know from experience now that you'd have to let it dry and then come back and keep working, and that it's a process of building to get something like this. Okay, so the last thing that's on your sheet that I always look for when I'm evaluating my painting is there a sense of space? Can you breathe in the painting and enjoy the parts where there's lots going on, where there's interest? So do you see that, how this artist has created space with these areas here where there's continuity in the color, using an analogous color palette in the back, so the blues and greens like we talked about, and just having space so you can enjoy these areas of variation. So those are always three things, and when I see those three things in a painting, usually it's a great painting. The first thing that I look at is my first C, so contrast. Yeah, so if we take our white and black, and this is like a very monochromatic painting, you can see the artist has done really well with that. And also getting in those beautiful grays. So contrast is totally covered, easy peasy. Okay, and what about our second piece for variation? So what makes this piece interesting?
The contrast between mass and line.
Exactly. So the way they've applied the paint. Yeah, like that last artist. And this here too, if you want to create something like this, if you have a squeeze bottle, like this bottle here, and you put, say, gesso or white paint in it, you can just dribble it on and that would make that effect, if you like that.
I don't know, it makes me feel trapped. It makes me anxious. I don't know why. I'm talking about space, you're saying, does it take you out? But to me, this is so strong. It is so strong that it pulls you into a
Great, so maybe there's a bit of maybe it's an uneasy composition. Remember when we did the 12 compositions and we talked about how some compositions are almost intentionally created to make you feel uneasy? Maybe that's what the artist was hoping to create.
And there's a contrast between black, white, and very minimal color.
Yeah. So the very minimal color is almost another variation of what makes it different. The last piece I would look at is space. So there's the positive white and then the negative black. So if you were to look at it and squint, you would see mainly white in the center and then black around there. And that's creating the space, is that uniform color.